Welcome everyone. This is the video on place value. So go ahead and title your notes. First of all, what is place value? Place value is the value of the position of a digit in a number. So for example, in the number 7,863, the 8 is in the hundreds place. So in this case, the 8 stands for 800. Something else you need to know is that a number in standard form is separated into groups of 3 digits using commas. So we start after the ones digit and we count over 1, 2, 3 numbers, and that's where we put the comma. If this number had been longer, we would continue on, and every 3 digits we would put another comma. Alright, understanding place value. In the number 327, the 7 is in the units, or you might have heard ones position, and so that just means 7, or you could say 7 ones. The 2 is in the tens position, so that means that you have 2 tens, or 20. And the 3 is in the hundreds position, so that stands for 300. So if you look down here, everything as we go from right to left, we start with the ones, then the tens, then the hundreds. Every time you move left a position, it gets 10 times bigger. So you could think about it the opposite way and say, okay, every time we move one position to the right, it gets 10 times smaller. So from hundreds to tens to units, it's getting 10 times smaller each time. But what if we were to continue past the units? What's 10 times smaller than units? That would be 1/10, which we call the tenths position. But first we have to write the decimal point so we know exactly where that units position is. So we add the decimal point here, and then after that we have the tenths. So this number would be 327 and 4/10. Let's understand each of the positions then. So write down the number in your notebook, and then we'll identify each position. So the 9 is the hundred thousands. The 8 is the 10,000s. 7 is in the thousands position. 1 is in the hundreds. The 2 is in the tens. And the 3 is in the ones digit. Now to the right of that decimal point, the 4 is in the tenths. The 5 is in the hundredths. The 6 is in the thousandths. 7 is in the 10,000ths. 8, hundred thousandths. And 9 is in the millionths position. Okay, so in example 1 it says, what is 2.3? Well, on the left side we have a 2, so that's the whole number part. The 3 is in the tenths position, meaning 3/10, or 3 over 10, which we say 3/10. So this number is 2 and 3/10. Every time you get to that decimal point, you actually want to say the word and. 2 and 3/10. So 2 and 3/10 would actually look like this. These two things mean the same thing. You have your decimal and your fraction. Okay, in example 2, what is 13.76? Well, on the left side is the 13, so that's the whole number part. And then there are 2 digits on the right-hand side of the decimal. The 7 is in the tenths, and the 6 is in the hundredths position. So this number is 13 and 7/10 and 6/100. What we would say is 13 and 76/100, because that's where the number ends, so that's the word that we end with. So 13.76 would actually look like this. 13 and 76/100. Again, these are the same things. This is just written as a decimal, and over here it's written as a fraction. So let's try this. Write down the number Make sure you have the decimal point in the correct place. And then under each digit, label it with these letters. So you have A through G. Then go ahead and pause the video and try to identify each of the places. So write down thousandths. Make sure you pay attention to whether there's a TH in the word or not. And then match the letter with the appropriate place. Then when you're ready, play the video again and I'll have the answers on the next screen. Okay, so here are your answers. Check and make sure you got those correct. Fix any mistakes. Otherwise, that's all for place value. Bye.